All right, we're gonna do a pre-trip inspection on this here Hyster forklift. So what I would first start with would be obviously just walk around the vehicle, look for abnormalities in your tires, things like that, loose or broken pieces of the actual body. Look for leaks, look for loose hoses, broken hoses, look at your chain, check that out. This thing is pretty old, so it's definitely leaking. There's nothing we're gonna do about that, but other than that, everything looks to be in working order. Okay, now we're gonna come over here to the engine bay. Again, just first we're just gonna do a once over, just to look at everything, check for leaks. Then you can actually start moving your hoses, check your lines, check your linkage, etc. You check the battery cables. And then, since we're in here, we can just go ahead and check the oil. There's definitely way too much oil in here, but that's what happens. The other side, and everything looks good. Okay, now you can check the hydraulic fluid on this one. There's actually a nifty little dipstick in the side of it that you can pull up, and I'm sure you can't see that, but this thing leaks hydraulic fluid out every single week, so they put new stuff in all the time, and that is broken. That doesn't work. Okay, then you come over here. Usually in this vicinity, under here, underneath your feet, there's a little port that you can check your transmission fluid, and it is absolutely bone dry. So we're actually going to add some transmission fluid. Okay, so whoops. Okay, so we got the transmission fluid. Pull our dipstick, put it somewhere where it's not going to get covered in dirt, and my assistant is going to shove the tube in the hole. Okay, now we're going to make sure you don't overfill it, so we're going to add about half of what we got in here. A little more than half, it's all right. There's only a little bit left in the can, so we're just gonna empty that out. The dipstick was right at the line, so we're perfect on that. So after we've checked the transmission fluid, the next thing I would do is actually mount your vehicle. We're gonna check if the seat belt works, which it probably doesn't. Oh wow, it actually works. And I just broke it. Alright, so the seat belt works when it wants to. which is all right. Next thing I would check, turn your vehicle on, see if your dash lights come on, which they do. Usually your gauges would also flicker, but this thing's so old that that's probably never gonna happen. Oh, also that one down there is your RPM. And then also something else you're gonna check up here is your brake fluid. It's wet, I can't freaking get it off. Well, anyways, so that's where your brake fluid is gonna be. It's too wet, I can't get it off. And you're gonna check operation of your choke. You just saw me turn it off, so I know the choke works. This is your light switch. So you would put it on the first setting, and that doesn't operate anything. And you put on your second setting, it operates that light, which is the only light on the vehicle. It's not equipped with brake lights. Now we're gonna see if the brake light works, so it's gonna hit the brakes. Okay, let's turn it on. Turn the vehicle on, and then all right, so the brake lights do not work. Okay, next thing I would check is your operation of your switches. This works fantastically. Your actuators, they seem to be working in all positions. You're gonna check your parking brake. Doesn't have very much tension on it, so I'm gonna tighten that up and hopefully, there we go. Oh, it's got some nice tension on it. At this point, we're gonna be ready to start it. And then you can check your horn. Horn works great. Now we're gonna demonstrate proper operation. Okay, so I'm gonna demonstrate proper equipment operations. I'm going to grab that first pallet and then put it on top of this blue pallet and demonstrate how you can how you properly do that. Okay, so number one, your seatbelt, seat lock, and then you put your foot on the brake, take your parking brake off, put it into gear, and then you always want to keep an eye on your forks to make sure you're not gonna hit someone's shin or take someone's body off, whatever. So here we go. You always want to be aware of your surroundings. You have your head on a swivel. So you're going to come up to your pallet and you're going to get your forks directly in the center, even on either side from the middle. And you're going to go in. You're going to go in so your forks reach the second to last plank of wood on the top of the pallet. And you're gonna push your vehicle into neutral, set your parking brake, take your foot off the brake, and you're gonna start to raise your mast. Once the pallet gets off the ground, like 4 or 5 inches off the ground, then you're gonna tilt your load all the way back, because normally there would be a load on this pallet, whether it be an engine or a transmission or whatever. So you would tip it back to make sure it's not going to roll forward If it rolls backwards, it's going to roll into your forklift. It's not going to go anywhere. So take your parking brake off, and now you're going to plan your path. So I'm going to look around and I'm going to see where I have to move. So looks like I have enough room to go backwards, go to my right, and then come back, and then I should be able to get this pallet onto that pallet without any problem. Back up a lot. Now, for this load, sometimes it's easier to lift your load above what you're going to stack it on, go past what you're going to stack it on, and then stack it on it, as I will demonstrate right now. So you're going to pick your load up well above where you plan to put it. And now you see that I'm above it. Now I can just easily lower it down. Then I can back up. Okay, now again, right here, if you look, I only have about 4 inches on the front. And probably less on the back. So again, I can pick my forks up higher than what I just stacked. And I can go past it. Now when you stop, you're always going to make sure you have your vehicle in neutral.